If y'all remember, I just recently did a video about Kamala Harris and how she literally is desperate to get as many votes as possible or people to actually see her, and how she really went all the way down the minority totem pole down to the Native Americans. And I said, that's how you know her campaign is probably in the toilet. Well, according to this article coming from CNN, it says Kamala Harris closes campaign offices and fires her staff in New Hampshire. I think the end is near for her, and she just needs to accept defeat. As far as I know, Beto O'Rourke just recently dropped out of the campaign. Kamala is on her way out, and I cannot wait. It says Senator Kamala Harris is closing 3 of her 4 presidential campaign offices in New Hampshire and has fired all her field organizers in the state as she homes in on her struggling campaign in Iowa. The California Democrat is closing her offices in Nashua, Portsmouth, and Keene. Her Manchester headquarters will remain open, but the staff will be scaled back significantly, with only volunteers left to knock on doors and pass out literature. Senator Harris and his team set out with one goal: to win the nomination and defeat Donald Trump in 2020. To do so, the campaign has made a strategic decision to realign resources to go all in Iowa, resulting in office closures and staff realignments and reductions in New Hampshire. The almost abandonment of the first in the nation primary state operations follows a major campaign shakeup announcement earlier this week to lay off staff and significantly cut costs for Harris's campaign, the latest sign she is struggling to gain traction in the 2020 race. According to a memo that campaign manager Juan Rodriguez sent to supporters and campaign staff, Harris will lay off staffers in her Baltimore headquarters, deploy staff from New Hampshire, Nevada, and California to Iowa, and cut costs. The moves further commit her to her all-in Iowa strategy. A CNN poll conducted by the University of New Hampshire, which was released Tuesday, shows Harris' support in the state is at 3%, down from 9% in July. The California Democrat made her last trip to the Granite State the first week in September. Harris canceled her planned November trip to the state, during which she was supposed to file to put her name on the New Hampshire ballot in person. The aide said Harris's name will remain on the ballot, but she will no longer file in person, bucking what has been a traditional moment in the nominating process that draws throngs of press and attention. Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont and South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg filed in person earlier this week. The campaign will continue to have a staff presence in New Hampshire, but the focus is and will continue to be on Iowa. Senator Harris will not visit the New Hampshire on November 6th and 7th, but her name will be placed on the primary ballot. Harris has campaigned in the state only 5 times since announcing her candidacy in January. She drew hundreds to summer town halls and accumulated a slew of endorsements. The senator pivoted to an all-in on Iowa strategy in September, with her campaign telling reporters at the time that she needed to finish in 3rd in Iowa to succeed in the following early nominating states. Asked by reporters on Wednesday in Iowa how she plans to stay competitive in New Hampshire if she pulled all her resources, Harris said, "We are still committed to New Hampshire." She's lying. "I'm still committed to Nevada." She's lying. "I'm still committed to South Carolina." She's lying. But we need to make difficult decisions. That's what campaigns require at this stage of the game. And so we have made those difficult decisions, and based on what we see to be our path toward victory. All in all is this: her campaign is literally down the tubes, and she is not trying to accept defeat. She just needs to be like Beto O'Rourke and just bow out. The same with Cory Booker. He should have been bowed out of this campaign. It's over. Remember, I said she probably wouldn't make it through the first quarter of next year. She probably won't make it through the 4th quarter of this year. But it is what it is. We tried to tell her, if you didn't have an agenda for specifically ADOS, this is what would happen. But she wanted to play hardball, but we played harder. Y'all let me know what you think about this down in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one.